What's up, Psychonauts? So, today I'm going to tell you the story of my first DMT Hyperslap. If you don't know what that is, it's basically when you enter the DMT realm and you get humbled by the entities. I also got this new microphone and I don't know what I'm doing with it. It just feels better to hold it, so that's what I'm doing. We will see how it goes, but let's get into the story. So, it was maybe only my third time with DMT, and I was using the sandwich method. My first two hits were not that great. But then my third hit was huge and it blasted me off. The first thing I remember is feeling the gravity of what I had just done. I had a, oh no, I've done it this time moment. And that's when the panic sets in. And I wanted out, but it was too late. My consciousness had entered the DMT realm, or more so, it had been transformed into the DMT realm. And I felt like I was sent through this infinite dimensional ringer. And I was trapped within this instant of time. Time was not moving forward, but within this instant contained the complexity of everything. And I was seeing this foundational machinery of the universe or reality itself. And at the same time, I'm experiencing the phenomenon of information download, and it's all just too much. It's too much to handle, too much to process. So, after some of the initial intensity wore off, and I cannot stress enough how quickly this first half of the trip happened, it feels like it happened within a fraction of a second. But once some of that intensity wore off, I start to get the sense that I'm invading in a space, and I start getting this overwhelming feeling that I am not meant to be here. And that's when I start sensing this presence, and there's this energy to it. Like it's scolding me, it's trying to discipline me. It's not necessarily in a mean way, but it's kind of just a matter of fact way. Like, this is what you wanted, this is what you get, these are the weight of your decisions, this is the weight of your entire existence. And here it is, you wanted it. So it very much felt like a hyper slap back to reality. After I was able to get up, I went into the shower and I just sat there with the water running over me. And I remember I wanted to be at work. Normalcy seemed so far away that work seemed like a comfort. And I remember that feeling. I remember that wanting to be at work. That's how intense the experience was. That's how much I was not ready for it. So, after this experience, I actually didn't really learn my lesson right away. And I kept trying to work with DMT because I was really determined to have good experiences. But it was honestly really hard to push past the anxiety or to break through or anything. So eventually, I did end up taking an extended break from DMT. I took about almost 3 years of a break. And before returning to the DMT experience, I had to do a lot of work with realigning my intentions. I think going into that trip, I was kind of just in the mindset of this is going to be a quick, fun afternoon psychedelic adventure. And I'm not sure why I had that mindset, but yeah, I was in for a rude awakening because the DMT experience is very intense, it's very profound, and it's an experience that demands respect. And I think this experience really taught me that I needed to respect the DMT experience and the DMT space. There's really so much content within the experience, even though the trip is very short compared to something like LSD or mushrooms. There's so much contained within the experience, and it's a lot to process. It's not something you can just come in and out of really easily. So I gained a lot more respect from the experience. I realigned my intentions and came in with a lot more openness. And the mindset that I typically try to go into with is the mindset of being a curious explorer. And there's also this childlike wonder that I like to come in with. And the entities or the intelligence within the experience tends to respond well to that energy from me. And it's produced very good experiences for me. Another thing that I had to do was I really had to change what my expectations of the DMT experience was. I think I had too many expectations in my mind of what the experience was supposed to look like that I wasn't really open to accepting what the experience actually was. And that was one of the big things that has allowed me to come back to DMT and have positive experiences is just managing my expectations and trying to come into the experience free of any expectations of what it might be. I'm just more respectful of the space. And it seems like when I've had this attitude going into the DMT experience, it's produced better results. And I haven't really had a bad DMT experience since. This was really the only bad DMT trip I ever had. and I learned a lot from it. So maybe it wasn't overall a bad experience, but yeah, that was the hyper slap. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed that story. Let me know if you have any questions and tell me about any of your experiences with a DMT hyper slap, and you all will see me in the next one.